Okay, so the other day I got asked this question: can I get toned and lose a bit of weight without changing my diet? I've wanted to talk about this word toned for a while anyway, because it keeps getting thrown around the fitness industry. So I'm going to use this question as a means to do it. So first of all, you want to get toned. We've got to be very clear on what this word actually means. The word toned, for most people, usually means going for that sort of leaner looking physique. For most people, in order to do that, we're going to have to lose a bit of fat and gain a bit of muscle, so your muscle shows a bit more, and as I say, just overall looking leaner. Let's break down how exactly we're going to do that. Losing fat. You've got to be in a calorie deficit, right? You've got to be burning more calories in a day than you're eating. And if you're in a calorie deficit, just as your ordinary diet, you're just constantly losing weight, you're going to end up withering away. It's not something you can do forever. So in that sense, yes, you are going to have to change your diet, because if you want to lose that fat, then you're going to have to be in a calorie deficit. And I highly doubt that you do that every day of your life. As I said, otherwise you'd be withered away already. Now, the other side of that is you want to gain some muscle. For most people, if you want to gain some muscle, depending on your experience in the gym, you're going to have to hit a sufficient level of protein a day. You may be someone who already hits a decent amount of protein in a day without trying, but if you're someone with a bit of gym experience and you've sort of gone through what we call newbie gains, which is essentially the low-hanging fruit that you get when you first start going to the gym, it's a little bit easier to make some progress. But then once you sort of spend a few months in the gym, it gets harder and harder as we go on, and we have to pay more attention with stuff like protein target and being a bit smart with our training. So that being said, yes, you're probably going to have to change your diet in the sense that you're going to have to up your protein, and think about it in that sense if you want to gain muscle. So to lose fat, you're going to need to be in a calorie deficit. And if you want to gain muscle, you're going to have to be eating sufficient protein, usually around maintenance calories or somewhat in a surplus, so eating more calories than your body requires. So the answer is no. You cannot get toned without making changes to your diet. For most people, it's just not a possibility. Very much depends on your diet, but if you were going to do that, then you'd have to be someone who constantly eats in a calorie deficit, which nobody does unless, you're in a very unfortunate situation. And you got to be someone who eats a very high protein diet. And the likelihood of you being someone who always eats in a calorie deficit with a high protein diet is very unlikely. So yeah, question answered. The answer is no. And if you need any help, come to me.